Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And so this is to talk about the men's chamber match that is happening tomorrow. Um, it's my final solo video on this. I might still manage to do a predictions video on this at some point before the next pay-per-view, before tomorrow. But I just want to go over some things here about the chamber match. So there was I guess, rumor. And we're just gonna define the elephant in the room. There's a couple other things I gotta address too. We're going to go on the elephant in the room here about an article that came out about the possibility of Drew McIntyre winning now the match. And it was reported by a guy who I never even heard of. Dr. Chris Featherstone. Okay. So supposedly his report is that the plan was supposed to be Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest, but because of quote unquote backlash, that is scrapping those plans, and that's why he's going to win, because of The Rock's whole changing the game plan, basically. No, this doesn't make any sense that they would change it because of the backlash of Priest versus McIntyre. Okay. If anything, the backlash would be the fact that CM Punk wouldn't be in the match. Because who are you going to have Punk go up against? The whole story, again, I have to reiterate this. The whole story for WrestleMania season has been CM Punk. Okay? I know on SmackDown, Drew McIntyre just smacked on Cena's promo or whatever, is the video promotion interrupted it. But, I mean, you seen what everyone was doing. He was complaining, and they even bring it up. Look, guys, I don't believe Drew McIntyre is winning. Okay? I think John Cena has a better chance of winning than Drew McIntyre. And I don't think John Cena's winning either. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I live and die with CM Punk winning this damn thing. But storyline-wise, it doesn't make sense for anybody but CM Punk to win this match. And I'm being real right now. Okay? And just, again, on SmackDown, CM Punk confronts Cody Rhodes. He talks about the soul thing. He talks about all this stuff. Brings up the whole, a younger CM Punk might have taken the offer and all this stuff. Like, it's just going at this whole moment. It's like, if it ain't CM Punk, it doesn't make sense. It's just random at that point. And I don't want CM Punk versus Logan Paul. I think that would be dumb fucking. I mean, CM Punk versus Logan Paul versus John Cena makes sense, especially once they did the whole teasing thing. I know there was rumors about Logan Paul and Cena for a while now. Going back to December. Those were the original reports. And then they had the whole John Cena, false coming out, and they had Logan Paul coming in. So yeah, I don't buy that for a second. I don't buy it for a second. All right. Triple H doesn't want to make it obvious who's going to win this thing. Okay. He doesn't want to make it obvious. And I don't buy dirt sheet reports because, again, dirt sheets most of the time have been wrong, especially now with Triple H in charge. Ever since Triple H has been in charge, a lot of the obvious people that you would think would win, like when, Vince McMahon would book, because of how, everyone would report. Now that really doesn't happen. Royal Rumble, even though I didn't agree with the decision, they had CM Punk and John Cena. Okay, they had CM Punk and John Cena. Everybody thought it was either going to be those two that were going to win. Neither one of them won. Okay? I don't think Drew McIntyre is winning this. I definitely don't think Damian Priest is winning it. I don't think Logan Paul's winning it. Seth Rollins is going to lose because Roman Reigns is going to interfere. I think Drew loses too. If anything, maybe they do Drew McIntyre versus John Cena. Wouldn't that be something? The way he cut that off. No, so here's the thing. If Drew McIntyre wins, okay, here's the thing. If Drew McIntyre wins, we would never hear the end of it. Because Punk's dream was the main event WrestleMania. So this would have been the second year that Punk didn't get it because of Drew McIntyre. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be entirely stupid for Drew to win because it justifies everything he's done up to this point against CM Punk. And that doesn't make sense. CM Punk's whole thing this whole year has been he wants the main event WrestleMania. And anything else doesn't matter. That's literally what they're setting up. So if CM Punk doesn't win this, then the whole thing is ruined. Okay? It just really is. It just doesn't make sense. Now, again, Drew McIntyre might make a better heel opponent for Cody. But let's face it, we know Cody's going to win against Drew McIntyre if they do Drew versus Cody. With Punk versus Cody, it wouldn't be so clear cut on who would win. Okay? Because of the way the fans are, glued to it. So, it's got to be CM Punk. I know it's because I'm a CM Punk fan. But the way they're booking the storyline, it has to be CM Punk. It has to be CM Punk. It's, how many more WrestleManias is CM Punk going to have? He's 47 now, right? How many more WrestleManias he's going to have? This is the time for him to main event WrestleMania. Okay? And not to mention, you're going to have new guys coming up, too. LA Knight is still on the... I mean, hopefully next year LA Knight will have his chance to main event WrestleMania. But, you get the point. You got so many other guys now that are going to be coming up. And that, there aren't that many chances for Punk to main event. There aren't that many more opportunities left for him to main event WrestleMania. This is where you have to do it. This is where you have to do it. I was like, oh, well, he can wait another. No, he can't. He's 47. And while, yes, WWE is making it so Punk doesn't have to work everything, because they don't have everybody work to the bone anymore, like Vince McMahon did. They're not, they're showing up to the shows every week, but they're not actually necessarily wrestling a full-length match every time. Punk hasn't wrestled he hasn't wrestled a match since the Sami Zayn match. Like at least on TV. I'm assuming he's done some house shows or live events, whatever you call it now. But he hasn't wrestled since Sami, okay, when he qualified. Okay, all the other stuff that he's been doing is just promos. Okay. So, another thing, here's another clue, too. Another clue is John Cena, okay? Here's another clue to why John Cena isn't going to win. is, and I know some people will say this doesn't necessarily mean anything, but in Buffalo, which by the way, I will be going to this event, Monday Night Raw, the Raw after Elimination Chamber, which makes even more fuel to wanting to see CM Punk emerge victorious here. But John Cena is not booked for Buffalo. He is not booked for Raw in Buffalo. He's booked for the Raw after Buffalo, when they go on like a European tour, essentially, because like the next 3 Raws are going to be international Raws. So that's where Cena is booked. So he's not going to be there the next night. So if he was going to, win, it would make sense that he was going to be there. So that leads me to believe Cena isn't going to win. And I still am not convinced Drew McIntyre is going to win. Now, do I see a scenario where Drew gets inserted in the match maybe because of The Rock? Maybe. Still wouldn't make sense. I've heard so many toss-up ideas right now that so many people have said, and I just don't buy any of them. Oh, if they do the rumored triple threat match between Punk, Seth, and Roman, that match will be main event night 1, and then the winner of that gets inserted into the main event title match of night. I heard that. I think that is just so stupid if they do that, because that would be the second time they're doing something like that, like they did last. You don't want to do last second, clean up jobs like that again. That's stupid. And again, a triple threat, and it's the only thing that would make the triple threat worth anything, because a random triple threat at WrestleMania that isn't for anything doesn't make sense. CM Punk still has a favor for Paul Heyman. Again, I made my video about the whole possibility of Punk turning heel and joining The Rock. I still think it's even more convincing now the way he's confronted Cody and is basically telling him, shove it, and whatnot. It's like, I don't know, man. Like I said, I think like I said, I'm going to say this right now. I think everything that we're hearing so far is swerving. It's all swerving in different directions. It's all swerving in different directions to kind of distance the self of who actually is going to win this chamber. And I still believe CM Punk will win this chamber. Like, I can't see any scenario of how he doesn't win here. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It would just be a stupid booking decision. I mean, the whole build that they've been building for a whole year is CM Punk wanting to main event WrestleMania, and then you basically don't do it. Like, I mean, like, that's what you have to go for here. Excuse me. So, and also the whole idea that Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest has been scrapped as a Mania match also kind of doesn't hold weight because of what Priest said in the promo. It's like, oh, you're just going to complain on the internet, after Chamber, So that doesn't make any sense either. So, yeah, I mean, personally, if you want to give my personal opinion, I think they should just do Drew versus LA Knight, assuming he doesn't win. But they hold Damian Priest to, high regards as an upper card guy right now. I don't think he's a main eventer, even though he was the world champion. I didn't think his world title reign was good at all. He was flip-flopping from heel to babyface. We didn't know what he really was. And then, of course, that horrible botch with Seth Rollins, where the referee decided to pretend that he kicked out when he didn't, and stopped the count, which still pissed me off. I'm still pissed off about that. I really am, because it's not, that should have never happened. And that's the one thing I'll say about Vince McMahon that was good, is that if you fucked up, the referee counts to 3. So, and that's how it should be. If you fuck up, the referee counts 3, because it's supposed to be legitimate. You're presenting the product as legitimate, though. You're presenting, even though it's predetermined, you are presenting it as legitimate. So if you screw up, the referee should still count to 3. And that should be on it is the wrestler's job to kick out. Okay? So that still pisses me off. That whole thing still pisses me off. That happened, and it happened that way, because that would have never happened under Vince. Vince would never have allowed that to happen. Vince always instructed the referees to still count as if it's a real thing, as if it's a, it's a real athletic competition, that's not predetermined. That's how he always had it. And that's probably one of the things that is hurting Damian Priest in terms of why people don't really believe in him as much. I mean, his world title reign was not that good. And so that might be why they don't want him to go up against Drew. People don't want him to go against Drew. People want Drew is seen more as high regards because of his feud with Punk. His, a lot of the work rate he has done. Drew's a fantastic heel. Whether you want to deny it or not, Drew is a fantastic heel. No one can deny that Drew isn't a fantastic heel. Like, he is killing it as a heel. Him and his feud with Punk was tremendous. And I think that's what the whole thing is. But the situation, again, I look at this whole thing right here. I look at I look at all these competitors. You got Cena, Logan Paul. Seth Rollins is going to face Roman Reigns. We know that. But then we got Drew. And we got Damian Priest. That was the planned match. Don't know if it will be still, but that was the planned match. And then you got CM Punk. Who else in this match makes more sense than CM Punk? With all the stuff that Cody has said, all the stuff Punk has said, everything is building towards Punk and Cody. Like the promos they just did now, right before, the Chamber, the one right before the Rumble. I mean, it's right there, writes itself. So that's all I gotta say. I'm on Team Punk. # Team Punk. Can't wait to see him on Raw when I go live to see it. Yeah, that is it. I am the SS. Comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm out of here. I'm the SS Ultimate Goku. I'm out of it. Peace.